Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
This is DJ Mr. West with Hot 702.5 FM. Las Vegas entrepreneurs, it's time to reset, recharge, and realign. Be part of the Entrepreneur Reset, a one-day experience on Sunday, November 16th in Las Vegas. This full-day, hands-on event will help you reflect, refocus, and realign your business and mindset for the year ahead. Space is limited. Visit entrepreneurreset.net and use code HOT7025FM for 20% off tickets. See you there.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Yeah. Jones. Hey. Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey. If you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help.
All right, Las Vegas, it's Wednesday, partly cloudy, 12 noon. We're here, Greg Deville, the Wealth Builder, right back at you once again. Listen, we're talking wealth and real estate. I want you to remember that creating generational wealth through equity and how valuable it is for you to have. You know, financial literacy is very important, and you need to understand that as long as you pay someone else's mortgage, you never become a homeowner creating equity, which is creating wealth. So every Wednesday, we're here to talk about the wealth building ideas. There's so many ways of being able to build wealth. We love to talk about it from the real estate aspect, but even in just saving money, stock exchange, just so many avenues that's attainable to create wealth. I want to make sure today that I get you out of the mindset of worrying about what the interest rates are. Now, of course, interest rates are important, but when you pay rent, you're paying 100% interest rate. So if I sell your home at 8%, sounds better, of course, than the 100%, which you're doing when you rent with no ROI, with no return on your investment. So over 5 years, let's say you've been living in your rental, the only investment you have of walking away is whatever that security deposit may be that you put at the time of your rent, versus getting a home and equity has grown for the increase of value for the property. So let's think about it this way. We bought a home at $485, and now, well, let's look at it now. It's worth $535, right? So you have a $50,000 equity in the last 3.5, 4 years, versus renting. You have that same deposit that you had at the time of getting that rental. So I want to kind of bring light to what we've been doing and maybe not thinking about it from that aspect of creating generational wealth. You're doing that. You're just doing that for someone else. So if I'm able to show you a way to create it for yourself, then I think I'm doing a jest for my community in helping giving the knowledge on how to get that done. So you can email me at Greg Deville at DevilleRealty@gmail.com. You can Google me on all social platforms. It's Greg Deville. And I want to make sure that you reach out. Let's talk more about it. Let's get you in the process of a loan pre-approval. Now, it was said that the loan requirements have kind of softened a bit, if you will, that they're not as big on that 620 to qualify. However, a 580 can get you qualified to purchase a home. So many of you have a 401k on the job. And with your 401k, you merely need a 580 credit score. Now, when we talk about the no money down programs, those do require a 620 or better. Now, it also is predicated on your DTI, which is your debt to income ratio. Many times your debt ratios are high. Now, remember, the programs allow for 48, some maybe 50% DTI ratio. Now, we'd like to see you in the lower 40s, 38s, around those numbers, which will allow for you to qualify for more of a property. Now, we understand right now home prices are up a little bit, right? Prices are up. So that means you're not going to get much now at 300, 350, but you can get something in the Northwest, Southwest. There's something that can be gotten to get your foot in the door, right? Maybe that's all you qualify for. Maybe, I have a person right now, they qualified for a condo. You know what? They live in a condo now. At least now they can purchase it rather than paying the rent and purchasing it for someone else, because that's what you're doing. They qualified for the property and you're paying it off. I know maybe you didn't think about it that way, but these management companies, every month that you send in the payment, so much goes to pay the property management and so much of it goes towards paying down the mortgage, paying down the principal and the interest that the landlord has. So I want to put you in a landlord position, maybe not now, maybe later. So let's say you get this home 5 or 6 years down the road. Statistics show most average homeowners keep a home between 7 to 8 years. They outgrow it or they want to relocate to something either downsize or upsize. Now, with that being said, what we like to talk about is let's get you in a position. So maybe money down it's going to be the best route for you. No money down, right? Maybe that's your best option. And if that is so, let's make an opportunity to make that happen. But I've got to hear from you. You got to reach out to me. Let's talk more about it. Let's show you how that's done. And let's get you before our approved lenders who can get you pre-qualified. Because the first step before looking at a home is to get pre-qualified, to know what you qualified for. Many times I have people contact me and they're putting the cart before the horse. In other words, they're calling me, say, "Hey, Deville, I saw this home that I want to buy." My first question is, have you qualified for a loan? No, but I know that I can afford it because I have a job and I hear you all the time on the radio and I want to get this home. And I say, okay, well, the first things first, let's get you pre-approved. Let's find out if you qualify for this home. Okay, now you get qualified for this home. But now when the loan comes back on the pre-approval side, you don't qualify for as much as the home is worth. So now sometimes what we've seen in the past is you may have to pay down some debt, pay down some credit card debt, pay down, maybe refinance the car, right, to a lower rate, which will allow you to have more money or at least more buying power to be able to qualify. Now, with that being said, I've sold many homes to tenants who've lived in those homes. They've been there 3, 4, 5 years. And now guess what? They're at a place that they're able to purchase it. That could be you. I mean, can you imagine purchasing the property you living in? You wouldn't have to move anything. You own it now. It's your property. Now, maybe you don't qualify for I had a lady tell me once, I wouldn't move because I love where I live. I said, but do you own it? She said, no, I'm a renter. I said, so in other words, you wouldn't move, but if the landlord decided to sell, you would have to move. And she said, no, they're good, no. And I heard about a year later, the landlords put the house up for sale. But she was adamant about staying in that property like as if she purchased it. She said, and I asked her, I said, well, why don't you just make an offer to purchase the property? She said, no, I can never afford to buy the house that I rent. But you fall in love with a house that you rent only for a landlord to decide they're ready to take the equity that you've been paying down on that principal and jump ship from that property. Now, again, I want to make sure that we're making sense of all of this and that you're taking opportunity to get your own piece of the American dream, right? Because that's the American dream, is home ownership. One of the biggest purchases you'll ever make in your life, possibly, at least at this time, right? And so if you're going to do that, you need to have the right professional assisting you in doing so. I've been in the game for 45 years. I've been in Vegas 24, and of the 20 of those, I've been a realtor. I've been in the real estate industry. I've proven that this is what I do. I've helped countless number of families. You're next in line for this miracle. Listen, we're in the fourth quarter of the year. Games are won in the fourth. I always say games are won in the fourth. This is your time to shine. But we can't do anything until you reach out to me. Let's go over what the game plan. Let's take a time out right here. Let's go over the strategy that we're going to win in this fourth quarter. What are we going to do? What's the game play, coach? What's the next move? Let's set it up. Because when you set it up, you win, right? We're gonna go this route. It's the route we're gonna run. And so I have the route for you. I got to hear from you. I need to know you're ready. Don't put off for next year what you can do this year. I remember in 2016, I closed out the year of 2016, starting my Deville realty business and purchasing a home. I closed on my home December 29th, 2016. I opened up Deville Realty Group December, I want to say around the 10th of December, I opened up Deville Realty Group. I bought a home and started a business, a company in the same year, in the same month, because I had a game plan. I spoke into the atmosphere, the thing that I wanted to see happen. And although it took me 13 years to see Deville Realty come to fruition, it came from what I've spoken. And what I've been speaking over the years, I wrote it, I drove it around on my license plate on my car, Deville, RLTY. And because I drove it around, I spoke it. I remember the lady at the DMV, when I asked, could I use these initials? And she put it into the system. The system said, yes, that's available. She said, but what does it mean? DVL, RLTY. I said, it means Deville Realty. She said, well, where's that at? And this was in 2003. I said it hadn't happened yet. But in 2016, finally, the thing that we spoke about came to fruition. And so for many of you, you've been speaking about purchasing a home. You've been talking about owning your own home. And maybe you're the first in your generation of your siblings, of your family, to own a home. Don't let 2026 close out without you at least trying, putting your best foot forward. And if the lender says you're just not ready, because remember, it's never no. It just may be not right now. And so with that being said, let's talk about it now. Let's go over the game plan now and see if now could be attainable. And if so, let's press forward and let's collect 200 and pass go. Let's do the necessary things that we can close out 2025 strong. Huh? Well, I'm giving you information that I would hope you would move on, act on, and pursue. Because at the end of the day, this is something that's advancing you, advancing your family, to leave a legacy. So when you go, you put it in a living trust. So when your time expires, you have all your ducks lined up, your family's taken care of, your legacy lives on, even in spite of you. And those are the kind of things that the Greg Deville Wealth Building broadcast talks about. But I want to talk about it from the perspective, once again, of home ownership, not letting your hope die, not letting your passion die, but going after it. Because my question is, do you own the place you lie your head at night? In fact, every night, do you own that space? Do you own the place your bedroom set is sitting in? Well, let's talk about this year having it. And if it's not this year, let's do it next year. But don't just sit and say, I'm gonna wait till next year. Let's do it now. Let's go through the process now. Let me set you with a lender, and let's talk about getting you qualified, pre-approved, and see if you qualify. Because it's the time now. And then if we don't qualify right now, we'll know what to do as we prepare for 2026. As we get ready to enter in, we're entering in with knowledge and understanding and clarity for direction. That's the kind of sense I want to make. So I just came in. I didn't get a chance to come into the studio, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to speak to many of you about, closing out the fourth quarter. And I mean, games are won in the fourth. You can still win. You can still take this opportunity to get where you're trying to be, where you only imagine. Sometimes it's just, I couldn't imagine starting a business and buying a house in the same year as I closed out 2016. But as we close out 2025, we still have enough time. It only takes 30 days to close a deal. And if you got that 401k, that 401k will allow for you to have a 580. That just means you paid some of your bills. To have a 580 credit score, you need to have at least 12, 14,000 minimal in your 401k. If you got minimal 14, again, just minimal, everybody. I'm not talking about how much, it doesn't matter. But right now, a home, down payment at a home, let's say 300 at 3.5%, 10,500. But there's some extra costs that need to be paid. So that's what I'm saying, 12, 13, no less, because you got earnest money deposit, you got inspections you want to do on the property, and there's appraisal costs associated. So you want to have at least, and the more I think about it, you probably want to have no less than 14 in your 401k. And then here's something else that just turned over this year in 2025. You can get a gift from a family member. And it doesn't have to be accounted for. So you got a rich Uncle Willie who has some money and says, you go and Uncle Willie, I need $15,000 for a down payment. And all he has to do is sign the gift letter that he's gifting it to you, that it's not a loan. Be careful. Stay away from the word loan when it comes to gift on down payment. Because if you got to pay it back, the lender's not going to allow that. Because now you've gotten another loan on top of the loan he's giving you. So if they're saying, I'm willing to gift you the money, stay away from borrowing that money. It can be a gift. And Uncle Willie's going to sign the letter. It's called a gift letter. But all he has to do now, he doesn't have to show his bank account. He doesn't have to show where he got it from. He doesn't have to show any of that. He can have it under his mattress as far as we're concerned. However, he will have to say that it is a gift and not a loan. But he can give you that money. All he simply has to do is put it in an escrow towards that property that you're purchasing. So that's a new avenue that happened for this year. This year, we got the opportunity, to get that money without charge. Okay. So that's good. That's good stuff. And so that's changed, as well as student loans. Now, if you have student loans, you do need to be on a payment plan. It could be as low as $40 a month, but you need to be on a payment plan so they can account for the debt. Because at one time we had the debt, you had to be 1% of whatever the student loan was. That also changed in 2025. So now you just have to have a student loan payment arrangement, paying on your student loan. Doesn't matter what the payment is. You want it low as possible, but you want to show the consistency of paying, right? Because they're going to take that debt into consideration when they talk about debt ratio for your expenses, right? Because most people got a car note, right? You have to take that into consideration. The rent now that you would have, we're going to consider that toward the mortgage. But how much more is the mortgage than what you pay rent? All that becomes part of your debt. How much credit card debt do you have? What is that credit card debt like? Are you forever shopping without control? Do you shop on impulse? Do you see something and feel like it's got your name on it? Because to have a home, you got to stop wanting stuff. To purchase a home, let me say it again, you've got to stop wanting stuff. You can't keep buying and thinking you're going to ever get ahead, because there's a certain amount of money that's needed to even if I got you the down payment, there's money that are needed even for you outside of the down payment program. Still need at least $4,000, because there are other expenses that you're going to incur while trying to purchase. So I'm saying this for anyone who's thinking about it. Again, fourth quarter of the year, let's make good of our time. Reach out to Greg Deville on all social platforms. And I'd love to hear from you and work with you on getting things done. All right. So that's going to wrap up my show for today. I just wanted to take a moment, talk about a few things that made sense as we're closing out 2025, that you make sure that you get into homeownership. Start now, and if not now, I don't like to talk about next year's stuff. I really don't. I really rather you try now. And if next year is the time, that's fine. But, I've met so many families who've heard my show I'm 10 years on radio, the Wealth Builder. As you can see, my hat says I'm the captain. I'm the captain of this. At the end of the day, so many people have put off, and they call me and they say, I just felt like I should call. And they got approved on the spot. And they're like, man, I wish I'd have known this all the time. I could have been approved, but because procrastination grips the mind of so many people that they miss what's already attainable for you. All you got to do is act now. Stop waiting. Stop putting off for the fear of fear. For the fear of fear has gripped you. I don't think, you know what? Take the thinking out. Just do it. Just do it. Like you buy stuff. You go to the store, you got stuff in your closet that you ain't even wore yet, and you buy more stuff. You got stuff in your closet that you haven't worn in forever, but you add more stuff. But you get farther and farther away from having a savings, from having funds to get you into homeownership, creating generational wealth. This is something you can leave to your children. Pay it down. But again, that's something I want to get into the hearts and the minds of people. Let's talk more about it. And again, that's going to close out my show for today. You have a great weekend as we're going to be approaching the holidays coming up. Be safe, enjoy. I'm here every Wednesday at high noon. And until I talk to you then, may God's best be yours. Take care.